Hello everyone, this is Mom Mary from the Starfish Reading Lab. I hope you're all doing well and staying home and staying safe, and as well as that, maintaining social distancing standards. I hope you all have a great day today or evening whenever you're watching this video. And today we're going to be reading a very special book about determination. But before we get into that, there are certain things that I must do as a reader. I have to read the book to you, I have to ask you questions, and I have to read and explain the virtue at the end of every video. But there are certain things that you should do as readers as well, and I'm asking you to do as well. I would ask you all to please answer the questions, just shout it out at whatever screen you're watching this on, and to make sure that you try and answer the questions as best as you can, as well as that, please try your best and do the virtue as long as you can, if not your whole life, and try to continue doing the virtues as much as you possibly can. I love you all. Now let's get into the book. Today we'll be reading a book about determination. The name of the book is Yatandou by Gloria Whelan and Peter Silvada. I might not pronounce everything correctly, but I'll try my best. So this book is about a little girl who lives in Mali. If you look at the first page, you can see her pounding. Normally, in many places, at least in the Gambia as well, we use a mortar and pestle to pound different things. It grinds it all together and we can use it in cooking a lot of the time. What do you use when you cook or make different things, especially when you were little, or if you are little? Okay, let's get into the book. Our Mali village lies beneath rocks that stretch like two arms holding us safe. Long ago, the evil emperors came to steal us for slavery. To escape them, we lived among rocks like swallows. Now we are safe on the ground. When the hot wind blows from the desert, I sleep on our roof. The sky is my ceiling and the moon my lantern. Grandmother says it's dangerous on the roof. An evil bird may fly over me and do me harm. I cover myself with a hawali, my scarf, so the bird won't see me. That's a smart solution. Do your grandmothers ever tell you, or your parents or your grandparents ever tell you any scary stories? Mother begins her long walk to the water hole in the dark. A rooster's crowing awakens me. Mother is returning. A water jug has its little journey on her head. I take my goat to graze. When he was born, he was so small and weak he could not nurse. Father said it would be a waste to feed him. I begged father for the kid and my mother for a little milk. I call him Sunjata, after the famous Mali king. Father says, now that the kid has grown into a goat, he is ready to be sold. I don't want to part with him. I rub my cheek against his soft fur. In return, Sunjata nuzzles me. Do you have any pets or any animals that you really love? I had 2 cats, but one of them passed away. But the other one still hangs around here. My brother Madu is in a bad mood. He had to go to the thickets to bring back one of our goats. I help him pour the creme, the thorns, from his clothes. In return, he fixes the strap on my sandals. Madu can fix anything. Madu and father will carry soil from the dried riverbank to make our onion field larger. The heat in onion fields will burn like 1,000 fires. I fill a gourd with water for them. Isn't that awesome? Do you like to grow anything at your house? The desert lives with us. I sweep away the red sand from the courtyard. The sand is everywhere. In my hair, in my eyes, even in my porridge. Do you like porridge? I love porridge. My friend, Damian, sees me sweeping. Iwi po, she says. Greets me. Yatandou, she said. We have a new lamb. Come and see it. Damian is only 7, but I am 8. And I must pound the millet. Yame issue. Yatandou, she says. See you later. My grandmother and my aunts come with their pounding sticks. Their sticks are taller than I am, and so heavy I can't lift them. My pounding stick is smaller. It is the stick my mother had when she was a girl. Where you live, do they cook with pounding sticks or mortar and pestle? We do in the Gambia at least, or in many places in the Gambia. When I was too young to be able to cook, like 3 or 4, I used a tiny pounding stick, like she's talking about, to pound tiny grains and tiny spices, like salt and pepper. The women from the village join us. We pound under the shade of the baobab tree. The baobab trees have many names. This tree is called biting fruit. When you bite into the fruit, it bites back. To get enough millet meal for 1 day's food, we must pound kernels for 3 hours. My arms and back hurt. Do you like to eat baobab, or do you know what baobab is? It almost comes in like a pod and it's super tasty. While I pound, I dream about a new pair of earrings. I think of what it would be like to go to school and learn book secrets like my brother did. I watch fish eagle fly where it wants to. So this little girl is dreaming about being able to go to school. As you may know, just being able to watch this video is a privilege, and not everyone is able to. Like, not everyone is able to have the opportunity to read and write. So I think that's one of the reasons why Starfish was started, to give everyone the opportunity to at least get an education. The women talk of bringing to the village something that will eat millet kernels and spit out meal. What do you think they're talking about? My pounding stick grows heavier and heavier. I ask Mother, how soon will the thing that chews up millet come to our village? I think they're talking about a machine. Not until the women in our village have enough money, she says. So they seem to be saving up to get something that might save them 3 hours of work every single day. Mother sells her onion balls. Grandmother her water jars. I wish I had something to sell. I remember Sunjata, but I think of his soft fur against my cheek. So it seems like they're all selling something to try and raise money, but the little girl needs to sell her goat, or wants to, but she doesn't really want to part with him. When our baskets are filled with millet meal, Mother begins to pound the onions. I help her make the pulp into balls for sauce. We carry the balls up to the roof to dry. Our whole house has a fine onion smell. You cook or make stuff or even eat stuff with a lot of onions. We use onions in almost everything here. Mother and I go in search of firewood for cooking. The hot sun sends our shadows with us. I try to walk in Mother's shadow. There is danger being far from the village. Bad spirits, jinnu, hide in the bush. They will steal a child and put another child in that child's place. Have you ever heard really scary stories or things about monsters? I feel like those are really good to teach kids not to do dangerous things. We pile the firewood upon our heads. Even with a folded headcloth, my branches keep slipping off. Mother adds some of my branches to her pile. Do you use firewood to cook where you're from, or something different? Or do you carry stuff on your head? I know in the Gambia we do a lot. Mother makes another journey to the well. Darkness comes before she returns. Father is angry because no dinner has been prepared. Mother says, with all the pounding and the fetching of the water and getting the firewood, there was no time to prepare dinner. I'm not angry, but I'm hungry. So it seems like her dad is hungry and angry because her mom wasn't able to prepare dinner. But I think everyone should teach their sons and their daughters how to cook, so then the dad can cook for himself too. On market day, I tie my panier, my skirt, which grandmother has dyed a bright blue. My blouse is yellow with a ruffle around the collar. Mother ties a red haole on her head. She takes a basket of onion balls to sell. Do you dye cloth where you're from? We have some really beautiful dyed cloth. Or do you use big pieces of cloth to wrap around your waist and use as skirts? We do here in the Gambia a lot. I put a rope around Sunjata so I can lead him into the market. Seems like she has decided to sell her pet goat. Each market stall has different colored awning. One stall is heaped with red tomatoes and green peppers. There are baskets of nibi, each bean with a little black eye that looks like it's looking at you. Do you eat black-eyed beans? We do here a lot. Like in nyambe nyebe, it's a dish. I like to eat that a lot. Chickens flap their wings, raising dust. Hawkers sell little bundles of green senge leaves to feed the goats. A griot, a wandering singer, plays his lute and sings the story of King Sunjata. The medicine man holds up a snake in one hand and a dried bird with bright feathers in the other. Do you have griots where you're from? We do here a lot. They tell stories about history through their songs. It's really beautiful. What are your favorite things about your culture? I sell Sunjata to an old woman for a good price. First, I make her promise not to eat him. Oh no, says the woman. He's a fine goat. He will be used to help of making more goats. I give the money to mother. Now can we put the pounding sticks away, I ask. Soon, she says. I carry home the empty rope. So she sold her pet goat to help everyone raise money to get something to make their lives easier. Sava, what is happening? My father asked. The French once held our country of Malay in their hands. When they went away, some of their words were left behind. Madhu says, a truck was seen coming into the Bandigara with a big package for our village. We all run to see the truck. On the back of the truck is a big hump hidden beneath heavy cloth. The name of our country, Mali, comes from the word hippopotamus. I wonder if the package is one of the great beasts. So she wonders if there's a big beast hiding under the cloth, but she doesn't know. What do you think is under that cloth, or what do you think that the truck is bringing to their village? A disappointment. It is only a contraption made of wheels and strangely shaped pails joined by metal snakes. Madhu, with his clever hands, helps to put the contraption together. The man says, "Who will be the first to give me their millet to grind? The cost of grinding will be 50 francs. Mother steps forward and hands the man a basket of millet. 50 francs, the price of 2 mangoes. The millet goes in less time than it would take Mother to wind her hawali around her head. Out comes meal. Mother can sell the meal for 100 francs. The man says, the women must write down who puts the millet into the machine and how much they pay. The women can't write, but they say they will find someone to teach us. So they need to write down how much everyone pays. Mali was colonized by the French, so a lot of French words are still used in Mali language, as well as some French currencies. A woman comes from the city. She is one of us, but she is not one of us. She wears pantaloons, pants, instead of a dress or a pani. She teaches us girls, as well as the women, all the words I said to Dominion used to disappear with saying. Now I can write a word down and give it to her. She can write a word down and give it to me. How strange it is to see that our words have a face. So the little girl is learning how to write. Instead of the sound of pounding sticks, there is only a whir and a rumble of the contraption. With each grinding, it makes money. When there is enough money, the contraption will bring water out of the ground and light to our village. Father complains, if women are idle, it will make trouble. Madhu climbs the rocks and brings home a bag of bats from the cave. Mother makes Father favorite bat stew for dinner. Father smiles and says nothing more about idleness. So her father thinks that if the women are educated or if they learn, they'll become idle. But I think they're proving him wrong. I have learned to write my name. I take my pencil and spell out Yatandou on my pounding stick. When I have a little girl, I will show the stick to her. I will tell her how I raised Sunjata and sold him, and how that helped to bring the contraption to our village. She will show the pounding stick to her daughter, who will never have to use it. That is the end of our book. So in this book, the little girl and her whole village were very, very determined to make it a lot easier for them to pound different things. And pounding would be very difficult because just for one day they'd have to spend 3 hours. But now with a contraption, it must take even less than 3 minutes. So because they were determined and they never stopped trying and working, they were able to raise enough money to make their own lives easier. And the little girl, Yatandou, is very willing and very ready to learn how to read and write, and knows the sacrifices that she made so her daughters and her daughters' daughters will never have to pound for so long. Now we will move on into our virtue. Today's virtue is determination. Now let's move on to one verse from the Quran. Whether you believe in God or not, I feel like these verses or these quotes from these holy books can really help you with trying to live your life in a better way. O ye who believe, when ye meet a force, be firm and call God in remembrance, much and often, that ye may prosper. So if you think of God or if you think of someone you love, depends on what you believe in, it will make it a lot easier to move forward in life. Determination is focusing your energy and efforts on a particular task and then sticking with it until it is finished. Determination is using your willpower to do something even when it isn't easy. It means you care about something so much that even when it's really hard, you are being tested. You still keep going. So no matter what happens, you put all of your energy and you focus and you try and get something done, even if it's difficult. Signs of success, the practice of determination. So if you're still struggling on how to practice determination, here are some things that someone who's determined can say or that they do. I set goals for myself. I focus my full attention on what I am doing. I resist distractions. I keep going even if it gets difficult. I finish what I start. Determination helps me achieve my goals. Have you ever done something that was really hard, but you stuck with it and you ended up doing something really amazing? Or even you stuck with it and you didn't do so well? You can write down some of your stories in the comments, or you can just think of that time. I think it's very, very important to try and practice determination, and that's one of my favorite virtues. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, and share this video to your friends and family, as well as comment below and I will be able to do a shout out. Thank you so much. I love you all. Stay home and stay safe. Goodbye.